The Tim and Tony podcast is brought to you by. So Bucked Up. Tell the good people about them, Tim.
Okay, so here's the deal. A lot of my friends who have been asking me about Bucked Up since we got the sponsorship told me, Tim, when I get a pre-workout, it feels like I'm a meth head on Mountain Dew. And I will assert, as I've tried many other brands, that that is the case generally. Not the case with Bucked Up.
No.
And particularly not the case with this little product that I just started using. It's called Heat Hardcore. I started using it because I started a cut yesterday.
Oh,
trying to get in shape for going to Mexico in August. So we're very excited.
Oh, okay.
So for all of you who are looking to get into your Mexico body shape, Heat is a good pre-workout substitute. It's only got like 150 milligrams of caffeine. It helps you burn off fat really nice. Or just going for the traditional pre-workout where they have a bunch of delicious flavors. I have a huge ass stack next to me.
The chai spice is incredible.
Yep. Oh, and there's another product of theirs that I didn't try until I was sent it. Is those racked BCAs are
oh my God,
life-changing. Those are awesome.
So the rack BCAs are fantastic. I've taken some other BCAs and like I know I took them, but I didn't feel them. This one, I feel like I could cure cancer. Disclaimer, you can't, but you feel like you could. The Pumpocalypse, oh boy. And if you use that in conjunction with the pre, you're going to have a fun workout. So that's to say, there are plenty of options at Bucked Up Fruities, and we're not even talking yet about the protein and the meal replacement protein. Both of those are very, very delicious and lean. So, Tim, why don't you tell us about that promo code?
Promo code. Again, go to buckedup.com. You can only use this online. You cannot use this at any in-store location. Go online to buckedup.com. The promo code is TNT20. That's spelled TANDT20 for 20% off your entire order. You can order one product. You can order 50 products. It's 20% off the whole damn thing. So go to buckedup.com today and let's start working towards those Mexico bodies.
Yeah. Use those supplements. It'll change your workout, change your life like it did us. So let's talk about Tidal, Tim. Why do we love Tidal so much?
I've got a Tidal sweatshirt on right now, and it is by far the most comfortable thing that I own in my entire closet. I absolutely love this hoodie that I have on, and they make the most comfortable gym attire that I've ever worn, frankly. Tried out a lot of brands. We're not going to name them on here, but you know who they are.
Absolutely.
And these guys make by far not only the most comfortable feeling clothing, they make the best looking clothing. They make you feel like a fucking badass in these things because they're perfectly tapered to make you feel very confident.
And I mean, if we can feel like badasses, that's pretty impressive. So y'all need to buy the stuff. I've got a hoodie. I've got a sleeveless hoodie that is just as douchey as it sounds, but fuck, is it comfortable? Their shirts are, like Tim said, perfectly tapered. The shorts are incredible. So, you got to buy the stuff. And here's the thing, though, Tim. Why don't you tell them about that promo code?
Okay, so on Tidal.com, that is spelled TYDAL.com. Use the promo code TAND15. That is TAND15 for 15% off your next order.
Off the whole store. Like, you can get all their stuff. You can literally buy the entire stock of their website, and you can get 15% off of all of that. And I suggest you do that because every single item that you buy there is going to be incredible.
So Tony and I just want to start this podcast by letting all of you know that we're very proud of you and how far you've come. And we didn't abandon you. We just went to law school and took the bar exam. Seriously though, like Tony and I have always joked about what weird ass celebrity could we actually get on this show? And Steve from Blue's Clues never came up, and it really just speaks to how bad we are at this, I think.
Yeah. I think we need to make a call.
He's too big now. He's too big now. He's going on like fucking The View and all those awful ass morning shows.
But he's proud of me.
No, he is. He's going to be like on Ellen and all those stupid ass morning shows. Like he doesn't have time for us now.
I mean, is Ellen still a thing? I thought she got
I think this is her last year.
Oh, is she getting a Kobe reunion tour or a Paul Pierce reunion tour? What do we think?
No, I think it's her and Rachel Nichols are going to have their own little show together.
Oh, damn. Damn. All right.
And with that,
Elvis Monroe, please play us in.
In a crowded room, somewhere in town.
So Tim,
yep.
we're finally dipping back to some of the previous promises that we've made to the listeners.
We're going back to our roots.
And in that, we're going to a movie that had a $15,000 budget and somehow figured out a way to actually make money. Now,
So
they made over $3,000, but percentages wise, that's an incredible return.
yeah, so I actually have a little bit of tidbit on this. I don't think it costs 15 grand. There's never actually been an actual, that's the number that they're estimating that this costs. 99.9% of the actors are working for free in this, including the production company. Really, the only cost they really had was to buy the software and the equipment. So,
and as we're living proof of, you can do that pretty cheap.
absolutely. Still waiting on that mic. But what's so incredible about this movie, we kind of touched on it in the last podcast, but this movie was done by a kid right out of college who was just like, I'm going to make this movie that I've been writing forever that has a lot of Francis Ford Coppola in it, and I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And the actors that are involved in this movie, I mean, outside of Logan Miller, who plays Sam, there's not a single like well-known actor in it, and they all basically did it for free.
Wasn't Mark Duplass in it?
Jay Duplass was in it.
Oh, I don't think I know Jay Duplass, so never mind.
Yeah. So the crazy thing though is that he would this movie, like they're all working for free, and he would have them all like his production team, if you can call it that. He would have them like stay late at night and like do 1,000,000 takes.
So Jay Duplass is Mark Duplass's brother. Okay. So.
Yeah. He was like doing takes over and over again, and the people who were working on this would just constantly make fun of him because they thought this was like a student project. Basically, they're like, dude, they thought it was like our podcast at the beginning.
Some say now,
where it was just kind of something we did for fun. Like that's what they thought it was, and he just made them do take after take after take after take. It was like religious about it.
and in my opinion, that's how the best content comes out too.
That's right.
That's how you really start something beautiful.
And this movie got screwed over, as a lot of things did, by the pandemic. It was supposed to come out at Sundance and then have a wide release.
I think it was supposed to come out at South by Southwest.
It's supposed to South by Southwest. That's right. And then go for a wide release, or a wider release than it got.
Then the
And
3 theaters that
it just died. It died because
Yeah.
there was no South by Southwest. There was no Sundance. There's none of these typical like movie festivals.
Not in person. They ended up having a South by Southwest over.
But there was
I
just
don't even
no
know if it
buzz.
was over Zoom, and it ended up winning best. It was, I think, narrative feature or whatever their best movie award is.
The point is, like, everybody bitches that movies like this aren't made anymore. And they're doing it. It's just, it hasn't been done very well for a very long time.
Yeah.
And this movie is just proof that like, if you can do it well, people are going to watch it. People are going to find it. Like right now it's on all the streaming services because it's picked up a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
But-
hey, I keep going. I'm going to give the people all the options because I want everybody to see this movie. So keep going.
Yeah. So it's, I'm so tired of like, all we can talk about with movies is Marvel ruining the movie industry. It's like Marvel,
While the answer might be yes.
it might be yes, but more of what Marvel's done is it's just changed it. Like movies like this, people still want. Marriage Story was another movie that was similar, where it was like, look, people watch that movie.
Yeah.
They don't want to go to a theater for it necessarily.
Yeah.
But they want to watch it, and they'll watch it when it comes out if it's advertised properly. So
one of the best examples that I think that we have of that, the movie that's a perfect example of the movie that people don't think it's being made. My hypothesis has always been, it's not that they're not being made, it's that you're not going to see them.
that's true as well.
Manchester by the Sea was a movie that I have seen multiple times now, and
And that was 5 years ago.
yeah, it was 2016, and for my money, one of, if not the best movie year in movie history. But it came out at a time that it just got buried. It got buried by a lot of other stuff and a lot of other high budget movies. Even though
And then it
had
became
met-
an awards movie. And
Yes.
it became one of those things like, oh, whatever. So you got to be like one of these douchebags to go.
and it has a stigma. It was a lot like First Reformed. Two completely different movies, but two movies that it's like, oh, have you seen this? No. What do you mean? Like, and for the audio only listeners, I'm making a disgusted face right now. Like, God, no. Like, I would never see that. But then the people that do go and see it, they all like it. Like, it's not just critically acclaimed, and that somehow becomes something stigmatized, while critics tend Shape of Water. I don't really don't need to say much more about that. But for the
Green
most
Book.
yeah. And it's, Driving Miss Daisy. There's a long line of stuff. But the fact of the matter is that they're making these types of movies. Shithouse is a perfect example of it. Now, it's not, Manchester by the Sea still had millions of dollars of budget. It had Matt Damon attached to it. And then, it had
Casey Affleck.
It had Casey Affleck as the star, and it had Michelle Williams. Like, they had people in it. But the fact remains, these lower budget, non-superhero, non-tentpole, it's X directors Y number movie. There's other movies like this that are coming out, and they're great. Shithouse is one of them.
Yeah. So, it's funny that you bring up Manchester by the Sea, because that's probably your favorite, like, low-key drama movie. My favorite is Good Will Hunting. So when I see this movie, I see shades of Good Will Hunting and the way that they wrote narrative in that movie and the way that they wrote it in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, Cooper Raiff has said over and over again, most of his influence is Coppola. He hasn't talked about any of the movies that we're talking about. But the point is like, if you're going to make an emotional human drama like this, first of all, it's not easy. As George Lucas once famously said, you can't just put a cat on screen and make it cry and have people. That was for what was that horrible 70s movie that we did?
American Graffiti.
American Graffiti, yeah.
That horrible 70s movie.
He's like,
that we reviewed on the Tim and Tony podcast.
Yeah, check it out. Like, subscribe, and review.
Absolutely,
and
share it. All that.
Yeah, especially that one.
Yeah.
But if done well, I mean, these movies still matter. This is a movie that I've seen probably 10 times now, legitimately.
Wow.
Because, I like it that much. Because something about it just rang really, really true in the movie.
So we have reversed roles in how many times we've seen the movie with our Tenet pod. Because, I've seen that I'd like to think that I have like a master's degree now in Tenet. I'd say probably 10 times you watch a movie, you have a PhD in it. I've got like, 6 seems like a master's degree level. If you've seen this movie 10 times, like I think I have to call you doctor for the rest of this review, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like for Tenet, I'm that guy that keeps telling you he's going to go back to class and never does. Who's like working on a degree for 30 years. He's like, no, dude, I'm going back this year. I'm gonna get shit done. That's me with Tenet.
Is there someone you have in mind?
No. I have
No?
nobody in mind for it. I have nobody in mind for it.
Okay.
I
okay.
just,
You know the person, but you don't know the person. Okay.
I know
Gotcha.
it's not a person. I know multiple persons.
It's yeah. Okay.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. That's the, that's my biggest takeaway. How good is the beginning of this movie? His roommate is smoking weed and he's got a stuffed dog next to him that talks to him.
Yeah. So, okay, this is great because my first note is so the stuffed animal talks.
Only in one scene, by the way.
In parentheses, it gets better. Don't worry. In parentheses. So is he going to be high the whole movie or just right now?
Right.
And I
He's
don't
sitting there
think
with
we
the-
ever get our answer.
Sam is sitting there with the
Yeah.
just like over and
Yeah.
over again,
Yeah.
sipping on like that dorm room scene. Like I've seen that. Okay.
Oh,
Like
really? You have?
I've seen that exact scene. What they're in right there.
Yeah.
I had friends in dorms, not at a California school, that was what they were doing, sleeping side by side, smoking a vape, talking about bullshit.
Well, hold on, back up. What school? What friends?
ASU, GCU.
Oh, but ASU is a dry campus, Tim.
Yeah, and GCU is a Christian campus. Doesn't mean they don't love cocaine over there. Well, they do. So he's like, again, the acting in it, the part that gets me is how he gets like this kind of performance out. The guy's like listening to his headphones and he perfectly reacts. What the fuck, dude? Like, what do you want? And he's like, do you know about any parties? And he's like, shit, yeah, we're like going every fucking night, dude. Like so many parties. Like, and he pulls up a fucking Excel sheet with all of the frat parties there that night. Like it's hilarious.
Thank God I never lived in a dorm. Just thank the Lord.
Well, you were privileged.
I was, and still am.
Well, yeah. Well, I never did either, but
yeah. And in fact, we lived together during college. But that's that's not the point.
Yeah, but sure, be a dick. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the one with the new car, right?
3 years old, but whatever. No, I got
you. Yeah, the entire just dorm lifestyle, the dorm vibe.
Yep.
I like to sleep. I like to just hang out by myself. I don't want another dude just in all of my space.
Yeah, I gotta say, guys, like the reason I never lived in a dorm was because honestly I could never afford it. But
yeah,
even if I could, you guys are spending like $1,000 a month to sleep next to another fucking dude on this uncomfortable ass bed in this ugly ass room. For what? To like be able to walk to campus?
Girl, but yes.
Yeah, like for what? To be able to walk to what the fuck? Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of there. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, and then, right when my older brother started going to college, which was 4 years before we went to college, they really started to throw like they started to test the limits as to how many human beings they could stuff in a room for an entire school year. He had 3 in his room, and
it's because they were doing the bunk beds.
Yeah, thankfully it was our cousin and then one of their friends that they had already known pretty well that was all living together. But I mean, just from him, I heard horror stories of like,
no, it's gross.
4 people in one room.
No, it's gross.
where it's like,
completely gross.
yeah, no, day by day there was just a different smell in the room, but they could never find it because there was just too much shit in the room.
It's
So
terrible.
anyways, that's to say that's what that's what the beginning of the movie reminded me, and I just got uncomfortable. But that
There's
means
only-
if the movie's making you feel that certain type of way, not 3 minutes into the movie, that's impressive.
The beginning of this movie has one big hole, and it's that Sam is allegedly a water polo player.
Okay.
In no fucking world
Yeah.
is Sam a water polo player.
So do you think he has a better career in water polo or stand-up comedy?
Honestly, I think he might be better at stand-up comedy because
Yeah.
he seems like enough of like a I don't give a fuck to actually be good at it. There's no way he's good at water polo. That dude's like 5'6", first of all. He could barely get out of the water. But second of all, have you seen water polo players? Those guys are like fucking Adonises. They're
Wow.
like, no, they're beautiful specimens. That guy is like,
Yeah,
he's got a beer gut at 18, which is what
impressive.
we had.
Yeah, well, you definitely did. You were just you could see your heart beating out of your chest. You were so skinny. But me, yes, I had the Kentucky Farm Boy showing right through. But we then get some discussion about preferences with testing. Are you more of a short answer guy? Or are you more of a multiple choice guy? I'm pretty sure I know the answer. But
Is that the one where it's like fuck this, fuck you?
Yeah.
That's what he reads.
Yeah.
You know, I love that scene so much where he's just like he's so like even if that exact scene isn't relatable, the idea like while you're sitting in school just having this fuck all of this, I'm so pissed off, I want to be anywhere but here type feeling.
Yep.
Yeah,
especially
that's pretty
during
good.
Undergrad. Especially during undergrad.
Like, I'm sorry, like I've had other people watch this movie who tell me they don't think it's funny. Like, I don't know how you don't watch that scene and not crack up. That scene is objectively hilarious.
Did they not go to college?
No, it wasn't that.
Oh, okay.
It was.
Did they not have the shared experience?
No. It wasn't that.
Didn't get the joke?
No, it wasn't anything like that. It was just like, I don't know. Like, I've watched this with multiple people. Some people think it's okay. And some people are like, it's not funny. You told me this is funny. I'm like, no, like, it's really fucking funny.
So then, okay. Are you saying then we're becoming what we didn't want to become?
I think to some extent we might be.
Yeah.
I mean, again, when I'm watching this movie, like for the 11th time, next time I see it, which might be tonight.
Sure.
I think I have to take a good hard look in the mirror. Just think about it. I mean, I will say though, the reason this movie, I think the reason why you and I like this movie is that there's parts of it that we can actually relate to, I think to some degree.
Yeah.
And that can't be understated. When I watch this with like a 24-year-old girl, let's say, there's not a lot there that she relates to. Yeah. It's like, oh, poor mama's boy, what a bitch.
Wow.
It's like, okay, well.
Is there a particular 24-year-old woman that we're talking about here, or just the proverbial?
Just the proverbial.
Okay. So I have to ask, what was your initial impression, not of the movie Shithouse, but of the literal Shithouse?
I mean,
and have you been to the proverbial? Since I keep
the guy that's like, I love fucking college, hella titties, bro, hella titties, as he's like sitting outside the fucking thing and he just goes in and pukes his fucking guts out.
Yeah.
Love that scene. Very hilarious. The Shithouse was fine. Honestly, I thought the basketball house was better, but that one was more exclusive.
Yeah. So obviously it's gonna be more fun. So would you? Yeah, I'm gonna ask it. Would you have played her version of Spin the Bottle back when you were in college?
In college, oh, 100%. And that's the one thing.
Yeah, not now.
Like,
Not now.
That's
We're supposed to be respected.
no, not now.
Soon to be attorneys.
In college, 100%. That shit was happening in random corners at pretty much any party you wanted to go to.
Say
The one thing,
GCU.
no, not GCU. Those people were too coked out at the party. They were too high on meth. Anyway, they God, somebody's gonna listen to this and just fucking hate me.
Yeah.
So the one thing that the fact that this 18-year-old kid doesn't just roll with the punches and hook up with this girl, I don't know if I buy that part of it.
You don't.
I don't know. I get it. He's shy. He's not like, he apparently can't get it up later, which is one of the most uncomfortable scenes.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. Don't worry. I've got like 7 notes just on that one.
I just don't know if I buy it. Like he's clear. I don't know.
Confidence issues are a thing, especially when you first
move
away from home.
The other thing we should say, she's clearly intoxicated and he is not. So there could be some of that going on. I should say that.
You like to think. Probably not, but you'd like to think.
Right.
Yeah. So I actually thought I had more notes until this unfortunate attempt at a sex scene, but I don't. It's time.
Operation Fuck Justin.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't like that?
What?
Where they come over to Maggie, her friend comes over, Operation Fuck Justin is in full effect. As he's standing right there.
Did you think that Operation Fuck, or no, it was Fuck Scott?
Scott, fuck. I mixed up my frat boy names.
Wow. So you're telling me it only took me watching this movie 2 times to be able to correct you about something?
Dude, look, I've got all these frat boy names in my mind right now. I've had frats on the brain recently.
Frats on the brain.
And their contributions to society or the lack
thereof.
I
hate it when we say the same thing. So yeah, did you think that Operation Buck Scott actually had a chance?
I think Maggie is the best character in this film. I think she's hilarious. I find her like, I would have actually definitely gone for this person in college. She's awesome.
You did, but yeah.
Yeah, well, somebody with, are you saying someone with daddy issues and maybe some self-esteem problems?
So hopefully we can get my guy, Alex, a little bit more stamina, but.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the sex scene.
But it's curious. So, Alex is Cooper Raiff, also the director, also the writer. So you're telling me that the director wrote in his own sex scene, and then he wrote that he wasn't going to be able to get it up.
So, I mean, obviously,
there's so many other ways that you could convey the message of lack of confidence, of not fully understanding who you are, of showing the beginning of what seemed to be a coming of age tale, than writing yourself as someone who can't get it up.
So I actually do have a tidbit on this. This movie is obviously based.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
Yeah, later. This movie is based on Cooper Raiff's real life, on his real girlfriend.
Oof.
That is a real thing that happened to him.
Then if that actually is something that happened to him, then I respect the hell out of that.
That's a real thing.
Okay.
He had, as he said in the movie, he had sex with like one person before then.
Huh.
And he was kind of drunk and really into this person who's named Maggie in the movie.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, that's what really happened.
Then I take back all the jokes.
I
respect the hell out of that.
The walk with the turtle and stuff is embellished as fuck. He's already admitted that, but there's certain things that did happen to him. That first scene where she like comes down and finds him in the common room like at midnight and is like, hey, do you want to hang out? And he's like, what the fuck? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And they go up to her room. That's all real.
Yeah, I can't say this enough. I respect the hell out of that. That's because it's
funny.
not only is it funny, but it's honest and it's vulnerable
Yeah.
and it's just really cool in a very weird way that he
Yeah.
would be willing to put that in a movie that at least a few points during the making of this movie, I'm sure he thought that it was going to be just like I mean, at one point this was supposed to be a 50-minute YouTube video. Like,
And that's the thing, you know, like scenes like that, you know, you go into this having people volunteer to act in your movie, basically.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey guys,
imagine
we're
the
gonna do it.
pitch to the actor that played Maggie. Let me look.
Her first
up the
name's
name.
Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan, either Gilula or Jolula. I very much apologize if I mess up that name, but
You definitely did.
I think one of those is right. I hope.
Well, but you know, to pitch that kind of idea, we're gonna do a 7-minute failed sex scene.
Yeah,
That is
it's
the most
long.
uncomfortable movie. That scene is like 3 minutes too long, but on purpose.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to make you just go,
And, you know,
oh,
I'm
fuck, please stop.
And, you know, I'm sure the crew, since obviously, you know, normally would be the director that's sitting behind the camera watching everything, but obviously the director's in the scene. So I'm sure whoever was, you know, the head of behind the camera, I'm sure I'm sure it took a couple takes for them to even be like, hey, dude, I think you got it.
Yeah, this thing, I mean, what was the uncut version of
I
that
think
scene?
we saw it.
No, I think we did. Because there's no way it was longer.
There's
It was
still,
all one shot.
Like,
It was all.
Did we miss like some more fumbling with a condom or something? Like, you know, I don't think.
Here, you roll over. I'll go down here. It's just, oh God, please stop. Like,
Yeah.
I will say, like, the funny thing that never gets less weird when you get older is watching sex scenes with your parents in the room. That scene, I watched this movie with my parents. That was the most uncomfortable 7.5 minutes of my entire life.
I would argue that it gets worse as you get older because the likelihood that everyone in the room, or basically, obviously, if they're your biological parents, you've got a pretty good idea.
Good math skills. Yeah.
But, you know, the older you get, the more likely it is that you too have had sex. And so the tension just builds from there.
It's just
like
weird.
Like when you're younger, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, let's just fast forward, kids. Like, we don't need to watch that. But then once you get to a certain point, just like, I mean, fast forwarding it would just make it weirder.
Yeah, and the scene is actually like important to the movie, so I didn't want to fast forward it, but it was also just like, oh God.
Which, by the way, have you watched it in your, you know, maybe you did for your dissertation on this movie? Have you watched it with subtitles yet?
No.
The subtitles in that scene are wild.
I try to avoid using subtitles whenever possible.
Yeah. Well, as you know, my hearing's terrible. So
I need it on Ted Lasso. Funny story. I can't understand that
because
movie.
the accents that
I can't understand it.
That in Game of Thrones, yeah, without a doubt. But for our audio only people, Tim's shuffling on a couch. That he's not just ripping ass into the mic. But this Timothy guy, he sounds awesome.
You think?
Sounds like a perfect representation of the Timothys that I know in my life. It's great. Nothing?
Shinedu Unaka? No.
Nothing?
Is he the guy that's blocking the basketball house?
Yeah. He's doing a lot.
What? You're skipping all the way to the basketball house.
No, I'm just
Just throwing stuff out?
No, because they mention him more than a few times throughout the movie, and there's just glowing reviews of this guy. Just glowing. Yeah. I'm not jumping to that scene. There's, you know, there's a couple things that come out about the movie. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Just
very good naming.
You hanging out here because you don't play a lot? Is that why you're out here instead of in there?
So do you think Alex and the turtle would have actually hit it off, or was that just something that was said?
I don't think Alex has very good social skills with anybody.
You don't think?
So,
is that your hot take?
I think he's easily offended and easily makes really bad, rash decisions very quickly when he's into a girl.
So then this plays perfectly on the next question. Do you think Alex is fun to hang around?
No, I don't. I don't think he's fun at all. I think he's a miserable motherfucker to hang out with. I think Maggie's hilarious. Like when he's like, I like hanging out with you too. And she's like, yeah, it's because I'm a lot of fun to be around. We know who's carrying the relationship personality wise. Okay. Alex is just,
He's there.
I can't stand him, dude. Like he really, like there's parts of him that I identify with and I still don't like the character, which I don't know what that says about me, like as a person.
It says a lot
But-
and nothing really all that good, but self-aware maybe. My favorite quote of the movie, college should be the most selfish time of your life. Couldn't agree more.
It's not
Could not
bad.
agree more.
It's not bad.
And it's perfectly placed in the movie. Because I think it's at the 45 minute mark. It's perfect.
Yeah, and I've tried to figure out which college that they filmed that at. It looks a lot like UC Irvine or UCLA.
It's at Occidental.
Got it. Because there's parts that look like Irvine.
Yes.
Um,
I think it's supposed to be Los Angeles.
yeah,
I
think it's
but-
supposed to be an LA school.
Yeah.
But that whole walk up at like 1, 2 in the morning. If you've went to college, you've had the morning where it was like 2, 3 in the morning and you're burying your friend's turtle because you just are.
Because
Like-
that is the way that the inertia and the momentum of the day went, or the night went.
You
When
woke
we're
up at
doing
noon.
it. We're doing it. Go fuck yourself if you say otherwise. We're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I woke up at noon today, and it's 2:00. I'm ready to hang out. I'm ready to go. We're gonna play some softball with some people playing in the dark, apparently.
And just gonna hit the girl in the pit with the pitch. Just absolutely tag
He
her.
didn't seem as scared of the cop for having a bottle of wine just kind of out and being
No.
18 as your standard 18-year-old would have been.
Because he didn't give a shit.
I think
depression makes you think about certain things in a different light.
I don't know, dude. He seems like a huge rule follower too. He's like, I don't know.
I think at that point he was just kind of in the fuck it mode.
I absolutely the scene where he hits her in the ankle, like because
and just tags her.
But what's so like brilliant about that is that like most of the movie is this journey at night that they go to bury her turtle. And that little thing, which absolutely could happen on a college campus, people are always doing stupid intramural sports.
Stupid. Excuse
Prolongs.
you.
I'm not a big softball guy. Okay, I'm not at that stage in my life.
Oh my
right.
God. Yeah, I'm
not at that stage. What do you want?
I think I'm about to start in a week, like my 5th season of softball.
No, I'm sure you've been in that stage for a lot longer than I have.
What does that mean?
Means you're old.
I mean, you're older than me.
You're past your prime.
Got more
Just what
hair
it
than
is.
you. I don't know. I mean, I can.
I don't know. Let's do a testosterone test. I don't know. Let's get some.
Testosterone
Let's get a draw.
Well, no. See, that's the funny thing. The less hair you have, it tends to be the more testosterone you have. So you probably do have me there.
It's actually anyway. It's an urban myth, but
Is it? Oh, well, then
Not the
maybe
point.
I've got you on both.
it extends that night like in a natural way.
Yeah.
Nothing stupid or outrageous happens. Something just completely relatable and normal happens that, okay, now we got to go get ice.
And now we've
Because-
got to walk 2 miles.
Because they're fucking kids, dude.
And
They're
they're
like-
in college. They don't, you've got the one buddy with the car. Oh, he's already asleep. So we don't
And-
have a car.
Fucking whoever was watching, I think it was my parents. They were like, why don't they just take an Uber? Because they're college kids and they're broke. They have these two don't have enough money for a car. They don't have enough money for a fucking Uber. They take it on the way back because they're desperate and tired. They don't take it there. That's relatable.
And
That's
you know what
something
that
only
is?
someone.
And you know what that is? That's saving money.
But I'm just saying only somebody who's like our age would even think to do that. Who's like, no, it's perfectly natural that they walk all the way there and then Uber back.
Because you got the most energy on your way there.
You're like, fuck it, we're not spending the money, bro. We're gonna save the $5 each or the $10 each, whatever it is.
Like per se, when we get stranded in a certain part of Las Vegas and we have
walked in and out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true. To save $10, maybe. So
yeah. And then go lose it at a blackjack table.
Well.
So we get it. Oh, you're gonna say?
Sorry, you think that's the best scene? You don't think the best one is when they're walking to the liquor store that's closed, and they're talking about the parrots, and she's like, "Did that affect you?" And he's like, "My dad dying."
Has that really affected you? My dad dying? And just silence for just a beat. Just a beat. Yeah, but before that, we get one of my other favorite quotes. We broke up because I kept cheating. Oh, usually that takes years and years of therapy to get that level of honesty this early out of a relationship.
I know we're going to do this later, but that's the number one piece of evidence that they won't work out.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that's the number.
Why you gotta spoil that?
I'm just saying that's who Maggie is.
That is always
that's
my
who
favorite.
And what Maggie is.
That's always my favorite part of relationship movies that we talk about. So, I have probably the most important question that I am going to ask you this entire podcast. Does Dallas really never sleep?
Talking about the sticker on the mom's car.
Yeah,
she's wearing the Pod Save America shirt, which first of all. For someone living in Austin, I am that guy, by the way, who would be wearing like a Pod Save America shirt just out and about, but it's very stereotypical. Yep. Anyway.
And I think he's even driving a Prius too. It's just perfect.
Something like that. Or, you know, like, what's the other Subaru? I think it was like a Subaru.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
I think that's what it was. But
okay, gotcha. And then further to that, the Uber driver can't eat gluten. Alex turns out to be colorblind and allergic to peanuts.
Allegedly.
He's
not actually. They're just fucking with him.
You think?
I think they're just fucking with him.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's real. Otherwise, it would have come up at other points.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I mean, again, when you're in college, peanut butter, perfect.
No, perfect. It really is. Really is. I mean, when she talks about like her dad and she's like, I'm just sad he never got to see the cool people my sister and I turned out to be, it's like, who writes that at 24? Yeah. Like who writes that shit? That's like,
I don't.
I'm just saying that's so well done. It's hard to believe that a 24-year-old wrote that.
Yeah. So we got the whole night. We're at, a mountaintop and it's very hard.
Bury the turtle?
Or they're very trying to, at least. But it's like, it's a corny moment. It's an awkward moment, but it's also a very powerful moment.
It's where they both have to be adults.
Yeah.
Which is, she brings that up over and over again throughout the movie. You got to be an adult. You got to fucking grow up. And it's like, in that moment, she can't just be fucking serious for 2 seconds. And it's Cooper Rafe's character who's able to handle and process grief at the same age much better than she can.
Yeah. So,
well, a year younger, but whatever.
Yeah. We end up finding out that she's not a morning person.
Do you like that scene? Do you cringe?
I've lived that scene. I've lived that scene, sir.
Yeah. I don't want to get fucking burritos with you. Or no, that's later when she yells that at him.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, fine.
I think I'm going to go study. And it's like, okay. I guess I'll just leave then.
Though, to be fair, I think I actually have been her in that situation as well. I think I've been on both sides. So, to be fair, I'm also not a morning person whatsoever. Are you going to smoke a cigarette? Are you going to not be a bitch? Let's smoke weed. Can you light it for me? Incredible line read by our just wonderful roommate.
I mean, we also forgot when Sam comes home and actually shits himself. and he's trying to wake him up on the floor, and he's like, Sam, you shit yourself. What? No, I didn't. Yeah, no, you definitely did.
Yeah.
You totally shit yourself. And that's why he leaves the room in the first place.
And everyone has a Sam in their life. They do.
Is Sam doing the stand-up before or after they smoke weed together?
Uh,
Because
I believe the stand-up was one of the first things in the movie.
No, the stand-up's much later.
Is it?
The stand-up's later. I want to say it's before the morning scene, maybe.
Okay.
Because he does
Okay.
I'm really hungover and shit my pants
Yes.
last night.
Yes, you're right. You're right. You're right.
He's like, you're not that funny. And he's like, you're not that attractive. It's just like rolls around. Like, there's so many scenes in this movie that make me go, oh, fuck. Like that scene really hit the spot for me.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, that's exactly what happens, because then I've got to know, would you go to a party the night after you shit yourself? 'Cause I know I wouldn't.
No, I'm not a 2-party guy. I'm like a once a weekend, maybe.
You're like a half. You and I are both like half party guys.
I'm really not like, if it's the night after a party and people are like, we're going out, I'm like, not me, dude.
No.
I'm
Have
so
fun.
far out. That's how I was in college when I was like 20. And that's how I am now at almost, God, I'm gonna be 26 soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
You're about to head into the wild, wild west of insurance, of health
oh
insurance.
yeah. No, those benefits are kicking in just in time.
Which unfortunately you and I know a decent amount about because of our lines of work. But yeah,
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
yeah, no, everyone has a Sam.
Oh, 100%. Most males have a guy friend that's like that.
I mean, he's selling jewel pods.
That's right. He's selling jewel pods.
Like, especially in college. Like, yeah, absolutely.
He
It's
just does nothing but drink and smoke weed and party every single night, but he's allegedly an athlete.
Yeah.
Is it intramural water polo? Like, I don't know. Like, this whole thing really bugs me.
Yeah, but
There's
see,
just
then
no way.
if I say that it's intramural water polo, then you're going to start talking shit about intramurals.
Well,
I
mean, you know, when I reach a certain age, men of a certain age.
Yeah, then they're not called intramurals. They're called, it's beer league and then blank. It's beer league softball, beer league water polo. I'm sure that's out there somewhere. It's no longer intramural. You missed your time.
I'm just not old enough. Still young. Got
So,
vibrance.
Do you believe in the quote, basketball house is different? We built different.
I think his criteria is you have to have tits or know somebody on the team.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with that rule. They're opening themselves up to what Cooper Rafe does, which is if you like basketball and you follow the team, you just say, I know Jay.
Yep.
Of course, you got to know who the fuck Jay is before.
That's the problem. That's
you say it to his face like
Jay.
a dumbass.
Oh, really? Well, I'm Jay.
Yeah, you're literally talking to Jay, dumbass, is what
What's
the girl
up, dude?
says. Yeah. He's like, hey, party in, as he's like making out. He's like, oh, I thought you were my friends. He's like, I don't think your friends would think that's very funny.
So, okay, do you think that Jay beats up Alex if he catches up to him, or do you think Alex? I mean, the fact that Alex was able to stay away from him the whole time, I think it means that Alex is a little scrappy.
There's my personal most cringeworthy scene happens before this.
Oh,
the scene where he is flipping through her old Instagram photos and liking the pictures, and she's getting the notifications. I'm just like, no, God, no, no, please stop. Oh God, it's happening. Oh Jesus Lord, it's happening.
The rule is, if you're gonna go through a person's old Instagram pictures, you get one. You get one
max.
You get one
max, dude. And I'm telling you, you better like be all the way into that girl.
Because it makes the point. No one just happens upon on their timeline a picture from 2 years ago.
It's not how it works.
Or
it's
even 6 months ago.
You have to go find it. Here's the thing. If you're going to do it for someone you're really into. Only do it once. Please, God, don't do it a dozen times.
No.
And then see the girl later. Like you're on the same campus with this person. Like, yeah, she's gonna act like she doesn't know you. She should be calling the cops.
She's your RA.
Yeah. She should be calling the police.
1000%. He killed my turtle. Absolutely.
He killed my turtle. He threw a fucking softball at me.
Yeah.
And then wouldn't leave my room.
So we got assault and battery. We've got destruction of personal property. What else do we have?
Trespass. He wouldn't leave.
Trespassing. Yeah. So before the time jump, before the like kind of fast forward, is Maggie or Alex worse? You've seen this movie.
Yeah.
Seen this movie enough.
So the
Who
scene where
has it
Maggie
worse?
starts yelling at Cooper, I've had that exact conversation.
Which side were you?
The guy, obviously. I don't want to get burritos with you, dude. So like you gotta grow up and just blah, 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 blah. And he's like, why are you so mean? Why are you being so mean right now? What did I do to you? Like,
yeah.
After he finds her fucking some guy.
So I did say before that I've been both people. I haven't been that bad.
You forgot about the guy that he walks in on and he like orgasms in like 2 seconds. And then after he gets done, he's like, please don't tell anybody, to Maggie. And then Cooper Rave comes in and the guy whose room it fucking is it's like, hey man, it's my room, get out of here. And he's like, he starts like just giggling and laughing at her. He's like, this is my room.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you guys doing in here?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But no, the argument at the pool is obviously the scene that probably sticks out in your mind the most when you're thinking about this movie, because it's so like they're like crying and yelling at each other. And it's not fake. And it's not fake crying. It's like, oh, that looks like it hurts. Oh my God.
And they were arguing like I would imagine married couples after being together for like 50 years would argue.
If they hated each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was vicious. Like
there's like, oh, I know the top 3 things that like they're the break glass in case of emergency. Just
congrats on crushing college, dude, or whatever she says. It's like, oh wow,
it's just fucked up to the highest regard. To the highest regard. So again,
he goes over the line
worse?
too.
Oh,
where he's like, you have 100%. To fuck random strangers to feel good about yourself. It's like, wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But again, I pose the question to you: our doctorate in shithouse studies. Who's worse?
The worst person is Maggie, without a doubt. Like, as like a human being, she's more fun. Like, I wouldn't date her. I would have her as a friend because she's a lot of fun. But the worst person is clearly her.
I'd end up dating her, and then we'd have just a horrible breakup. And
the thing is like when she's flirting with him at the party again, and then she's like, "Why the fuck are you talking to me?" It's like, okay, all right, excuse me, we slept together last night. You start talking to me at a party and hitting on me, and I want to talk. Like, fuck me. You're right. I'm the asshole,
and I'm that guy. I'm like, I thought that meant something. Apparently, not.
No, my bad. Yeah. My bad. By the way,
that's on me.
Should he have gotten so pissed off about her hooking up with some guy? No, he should have taken that as a sign to get the fuck out of there.
That's when you take your pride that's currently being danced on, you take what's left of it, and you get the hell out.
You need to get out. You've got, when you see that shit, dude, it's never getting better. She kind of bragged to you about cheating on her ex multiple times.
Kind of.
Wasn't ashamed of it. And then you find
her.
Not
at all. It was like part of her personality.
You find her fucking some 2-pump chump in some guy's room.
Come on.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying it's what it was.
Come on.
We all saw it. We all saw the film. Like,
jeez.
What? You want me to act like we didn't see it?
We're a sex positive podcast, I thought.
Absolutely. That guy had 2 pumps and he was out.
Wow. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie to the people.
Jeez.
But that's when you should have known, dude. It wasn't worth having the argument with her. She's willing to be meaner than you. and it kind of raised you to say some shit that you probably shouldn't have said.
And you were probably uncomfortable saying at the time.
And she still beat you in terms of meanness.
Yeah.
And you feel like the dick. So
see, Basketball House is not built different. Maggie is built different. We find out that the stuffed animal's the dad. And then we find out that the dad is also rebounding. That was like that was a very ambitious touch for what this movie was. And I liked it. I don't know. I was a sucker for it.
I don't mind it. I think
I really liked it. It was a really cool payoff because the stuffed animal keeps coming back, and then we get the payoff. And it was I don't know. It worked.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The whole stuffed animal thing, like go into your college-aged male friends' rooms. You'll find a couple of them that carry a stuffed animal with them that they had since they were a baby. You just will. I guarantee you. Like, women don't want to hear this probably, but I'm telling you, men have a weird attachment to objects.
Here's the thing.
And they don't get over things.
Never.
I have a stuffed animal in my room that I have had since I broke my arm when I was 2 years old.
Yep.
That I still have. Brought it to California with me. Brought it everywhere I've lived.
Everywhere.
To this point. And I always will. Yep. And nobody will probably ever see it because I'll keep it hidden, but I know it's there. So that was another part of like, okay, you know what? That's really vulnerable and well done that you're willing to do what you just did.
Yeah.
Like, and I appreciate it.
I too have a stuffed animal. It's a beagle. It's very, very close to my heart. I've had it for as long as I can remember. It's gotten chewed up by a couple dogs. It's gotten repaired a bunch of times. It's gotten saved. The eye is a little effed up, but you know, it's I don't know. Like you said, it's just a thing. We don't get over shit.
It's a weird thing. Males have weird attachments to objects. They hold on. It's look up any psychological journal. They'll show you men carry at least one object for most of their lifetimes everywhere they go. And it's something they attach to in childhood.
Like Theon with his dick before it was cut off.
Well, yeah, exactly like Theon.
So I will say the just mental torture and the just psychological shit that Cooper's going or Alex is going through in this movie. It's a lot. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because you know this is the Tim and Tony podcast. But last I checked, the first year of law school was a lot like this psychologically. Where it's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what you're doing? No idea what I'm doing.
I just want to go home, man.
Yeah, I just want to fuck this. This is not what I thought it was going to be. This is not what I signed up for. I'm out of here.
I want to go home, man.
The amount of times that I called my parents was just like, yeah, I don't know about this, guys.
Yeah, so that's the scene that sticks out the most to me is the scene where he calls his mom. Where he's sitting on the ground next to the wall.
Yep.
He actually cries. There's no fake tears there. That is like,
nope. They didn't have the budget for.
He's never said it. I looked it up. He's never said it. I can tell it's a real conversation he had.
Yeah.
Because you can't break down on the words, I probably shouldn't call you anymore unless you've had that type of conversation.
Unless you've had to say that before.
Because I don't think that that's necessarily something everybody would cry on unless they were really feeling it.
Yep.
So in order to be able to act that out, having no previous professional acting experience,
he wrote it. Infer, he knew what he was doing.
I can read between the lines.
Yeah.
And the mom listening to it on speaker with the sister there that he doesn't know is listening. It's all like that scene. Like if you can do that, okay, like you've got a shot at being a really good director.
Yeah. I mean, I will never be able to understand. I mean, acting's very hard, writing's very hard, directing's very hard.
I've heard.
Acting and writing is very hard when doing together. Writing and directing when together is very hard. Directing and acting together is very hard.
Very.
I cannot begin to fathom how hard it is to act and it work, to write and it work, and to direct and it work. That shows talent, that shows ambition, it shows a competency, and it shows a steadiness in just who he is as a person and how creative you are. I mean,
Right.
that's got doing any one of those things for a day is just emotionally exhausting, I'm sure. And he was able to do all three of them at a very high level with virtually no support.
Zero. Yeah.
It's I haven't said it yet. It's incredible.
Well, I mean, one of the scenes, one of the lines that was written so well that I wish people would see this movie so that I could use it more often.
Yeah.
When Maggie's in the library and she's like, I'm on a roll, and her friends are like, oh, excuse me, sir. My friend over here, she's on a roll.
She's on a roll.
And then they start announcing it to everybody. I wish that more people had seen the movie so that I could make that comment.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times people have said, sorry, I'm just in a groove. And I just want to be like, oh,
Oh,
excuse me.
oh yeah. Hey.
Oh, sorry. Hey guys, we got somebody in a groove over here, and just like fuck with them.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't get it.
So
you're right.
would you take history of the 18th century paint?
And yeah.
Which, I mean, you and I basically did that in college.
Here's the thing. I'm begging you, Cooper Rafe, please don't make a sequel to this movie. But in my mind, that sequel would just be those 3 years, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it would work, because there's no way those two have that kind of chemistry for 3 years and just nothing kind of happens until the end. It's kind of weird. It's a little weird. I'm not saying we need a Star Wars prequel to this, please, George Lucas.
Vaunted Star Wars fan Tim LeDuc.
Yeah, I don't need a whole 3 movies dedicated to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when she's like just blown away by her acting, it's every 22-year-old guy who's been in with the girl has done that exact. She's
100,
just
100%.
I've never seen anything like it. And it's like,
I'm happy for you.
She's a
Enjoy
college
it.
actress. Yeah.
Enjoy it. Do they make it, and why is the answer no?
The answer's hell no.
Yeah. It's not. It's not even close.
First of all,
Absolutely not.
she gets him to turn down a great internship in Chicago to stay there with her. Resentment.
Yeah. Day one. Day damn one.
She is I don't even want to say habitual.
Oh,
she's a religious cheater.
Yes. Pathological.
She's a liar. Yeah, all of it. Like, and I'm sorry, doesn't bring a lot to the table. Not going to keep her interesting. Not going to keep her interested.
He can act, he can write, he can direct. Come on.
I'm not in real life. No, I'm not saying in real life. I'm saying the movie character.
Yeah.
Not that good at school. Not that funny. Not that fun to be around.
He just hasn't applied himself, Tim. Come on.
Well, I mean, I don't.
You can sympathize.
I'm sorry. This kid is, he doesn't have a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on there.
This kid, wow, we really have turned into those people.
I'm old. What do you want from me? I'm turning 26 next month.
You can rent a car. I mean, it's crazy. Who's your Brainy the Dog MVP?
Sam. He keeps everything together. Everybody needs a Sam. Everybody needs a Sam who's just like, we're going to party tonight. And every time you bring up that girl, I'm going to slap you across the face. And then take 2 shots. And then when he wakes up the next morning, you're just sitting there and he's like,
and he doesn't remember a thing.
Hey, man, I don't remember anything. He's like, yeah, you took like 10 shots. 10 shots! he has like goes into his, he's like, Jesus, I got to quit drinking. I'm done. I got to quit drinking.
That's their version of rolling the dice. Yeah, my MVP is obviously the stuffed animal. I mean, come on.
I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that because it's so well done, but it's only in like minor scenes. Like,
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't know. That's kind of like, it's kind of like giving the MVP to like Alex Caruso or something. Like he plays like 50, he plays a good 15 minutes, but you know,
He's well deserving.
I guess. I don't know, man.
He's well deserving. I mean, he's Bill Walton on the 86 Celtics. I mean, come on.
I don't know, man.
It works because of him.
I don't know.
You want
I
to
think
talk
that's
about
Sam.
bringing everything together?
I think that's Sam.
Yeah, I disagree. Not the guy that shits himself as a bad comedian. and
No,
sells
he is
Juul
the
sells
instigator
Juul
for.
pods.
I'm not saying he's the instigator for good things. I'm saying he's the instigator
He's
of
just
most
the
of this
instigator.
movie. He's the, like, without him, Cooper Rafe's character is never leaving his room. Like,
Maybe that's
He's never
for the
going
best.
anywhere.
Maybe that's for the best.
maybe, you know what? You're right. Maybe that's for the best. Maggie's kind of a shitty person.
Yeah. What was your Lumbo lesson?
Yeah.
Because
you know,
mine's a quote.
I always struggle with these. First of all, did we do the scene? Did it affect you? My dad dying?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yeah, we went over that quote.
Great.
Thank you for paying attention.
Great. I appreciate that. My limbo lesson, and I learned it a long time ago.
Yep.
Cheaters don't really ever get better.
Oh.
They don't really
Oh.
ever change.
Oh.
I'm just going to say, like, when you see somebody who's in their 40s and 50s,
Yeah.
go look at pictures of them in college.
Yeah.
Because I've done this recently. Not with my own family member, with a family member of a close friend. Okay?
Am I said close friend?
No.
Oh, that's
No.
good. That's good.
No.
Has he been on
People-
this podcast?
No.
Oh, okay.
People don't get better when they age. Especially with the cheating thing. They just don't. It's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
If you do it once, you are going to do it again. Like, it's one of those things you don't cure yourself of.
You figured it out, huh?
No, I'm just saying.
You're saying
just
there's no
saying.
vaccine for cheating, is what you're saying?
No.
Not even
And if there-
mRNA can.
Well, and if there were, we'd have to mandate it so that half the fucking country would take it.
That's true, because don't want to infringe on my freedoms. My Lumbo
Science.
lesson is a quote: "Death is ass."
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Death is ass. That's not bad.
I'm putting that on my fucking gravestone.
That's really not bad. Like, as a yearbook quote, if anybody's looking for one, like in high school, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Death
Yeah.
is ass. Yep. Yeah,
I'm proud of that one.
it's pretty good. I'm jealous of it.
Who would you want to be? And I swear to God, don't say Sam.
The sister, Cooper Rafe's sister, seems to have a very
Really?
good disposition about her.
Yeah.
She seems to be a lot of fun. She seems very supportive. Seems like a good kid.
Wow.
She's the only person in here that I find even remotely redeemable, except
Oh.
for maybe Jay.
That was gonna be my answer.
I mean,
Oh.
Jay.
I want to be Jay.
Jay's hooking up with a hot chick.
Yeah.
He makes the quote. I don't think your friends would find that very funny. He's like, I'm Jay. Like he comes in for 2 minutes, but he's great.
He's on the
He's like the
basketball
stuffed
team.
animal.
He's on the basketball team at what seems like a D1 college. Absolutely.
And people clearly like know him
Yeah.
as being Jay. Like, oh,
See-
that's Jay. Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like
Okay.
seems like it would be a good time to be Jay
Stop
as
it.
a freshman in college. Yeah. Do you have anything else?
Highly recommend everybody watch this film.
Oh yeah. Did you like it?
Of course.
Yeah.
It was my favorite movie of 2020.
Oh.
Easily.
It
It was the best movie I saw last year.
not a big way back guy.
Nope. Well, okay, no, that's disrespectful. I like the way back. I'm not gonna make that joke. I do like the way back. I like Shithouse a little bit better. I do.
I'm trying to find the name of the movie that was my favorite because I haven't seen it since it came out. What was the Netflix movie?
Must have been a great one.
It was incredible. Mank. That was
Wow,
Mank
yeah, you had to look up the fucking name. It was so good and memorable.
Yeah,
Good
well,
for you, man.
because I haven't seen it in a while, and I've got just what. See, Tim, unlike you, when I prepare for these podcasts, I am a method podcaster. I throw myself.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I'm about to explain it. I throw myself completely into the world of the movie, and I very much fight every impulse to go outside of the movie. So subconsciously, my brain didn't want to be unfair to Shithouse by speaking about a movie of the caliber of Mank. That's why I make references all the time during podcasts to shitty movies. Say Shape of Water. So, that's just me though. So, without further ado, this brings us to the Ted Cruz Award. Go fuck yourself. It's always my favorite time in the podcast. Tim, who is your Ted Cruz Go Fuck Yourself Award? Anyone that you can punch in the face.
Got it. All right, everybody. I am back.
Don't worry, we will edit that out so y'all don't hear just a solid 9 seconds of not awkward silence, just silence. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, my Ted Cruz award goes to Maggie's dad. Seems like a real piece of shit. Not gonna lie. Doesn't seem like a great guy.
Yeah.
You disown your daughters when they're teenagers. It's a tough look. It's a tough look.
It's the only choice.
I don't know who else you're gonna pick because everybody else, while they may be dipshits,
everyone else is like a general level of shittiness. There's one that rises above all else, or above.
He's the only villain.
Everyone else. He's the villain. He's the Thanos of this movie.
He's the only villain.
And it's, it's not close. And, this is a close call for me because of how visceral my dislike for that man is. But would you rather punch him or Ted Cruz?
Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Easily.
Unfortunately.
Especially for the stuff he's saying recently.
Yeah, guys, it's September 10th. We're at 10:20 p.m. See what Ted Cruz said earlier today and the previous day. It's the reason why we have this category. It's because he says dumb shit like that. But anyways, Tim, we've done Shithouse. What are we doing next?
I picked this one, so it seems only fair that you get to pick the next one, Tony.
Okay. So right now in the promised category, what do we have? I think we've got Almost Famous, which I don't think either of us are ever going to pick. It's just going to happen if it happens.
I don't even know if that's a real movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because you probably still haven't watched it, which is
I've heard rumors.
For the listeners, that's one of the reasons why we haven't done it yet, is because there was one point that the stars had aligned. Tim was available, Brian was available.
Tim was not available. Tim was not available.
Tim was not available. Tim was not available because Tim had yet to see the movie.
That's not true.
But it's okay. I am a forgiving podcast host.
Accurate.
So it is both of our names on the podcast title. It takes both of us to make a lovely and wonderful podcast. So far.
And only one of us to ruin it.
And only one of us to ruin it. 100%. The world was built in 7 days. Ted Cruz and Donald Trump was able to destroy it in 1 hour. But anyways, I think on the promised category we have Christopher Robin, and I feel like there's one more. Oh, Avatar's the other one. Avatar's the other promised one. So honestly, I haven't given it much thought because really, I mean, really, there's only one movie that's come out recently that I know that neither of us have seen yet. So everybody, I would
Shang-Chi?
like. We have seen it, and we have
Okay.
reviewed it. Thank you for paying attention. Tim, what I want you to do right now is I want you to pick up a certain 6-pack of a certain Mexican beer. I want you to bring it back. I want you to pop the top off. And then I want you to choke the life out of it. And Tim has left the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be doing Fast 9. Raise a glass to family. Raise a bottle to everything that brings this world together. Raise a glass of Dominic Toretto. Raise a glass to the superheroes of the Universal Cinematic Universe, as I like to call it. We're going to be doing Fast 9. It's going to be exciting. Tim can also obviously always pick from the pool of promised movies. But Fast 9, that is my pick. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. You can find us on all the socials. You can find us all on there. You can find all the promo codes, all that good stuff in the description of this very episode. Thank you so much for listening. Ted Cruz, please go fuck yourself. Elvis Monroe, please play us out.
One day, someday, fiction girl. She's my one day, someday. She's my one